That was so uncomfortable. We have exactly 70 days to be out of our current house. Cool, so that was a scammer, but we have got some bad news. Who are gonna say that settlement's just gone through? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Celia. I'm a content creator from regional Victoria, and I haven't been posting on YouTube in a long time, but I do post regularly on my TikTok and my Instagram. Before we get into this video, I thought I'd give you a bit of backstory as to why we bought another property and why we're moving in to renovate it, because that wasn't originally our plan. Back in April 2023, my partner and I started thinking about moving into something a little bit bigger. So we've been living in this unit that I'd purchased in 2019. Finished renovating that. It was great, but it was quite small and we just wanted more space. I wanted bigger space for my office, and we also wanted a bigger backyard for our dog, which I think there's like a thing in the news now, like people buying houses with a backyard, not for kids, just for purely dogs, which is exactly what we wanted to do. At the same time, our friends were renting out a property, which was perfect. We loved the location, we loved the size, we loved the backyard, we loved everything about it. And they were kind of a little bit hesitant to rent. They were also contemplating selling the property. Anyway, long story short, we ended up moving in there, but we kind of knew that maybe they were going to sell. So we moved in April. Around July, they gave us a heads up and said, look, we think we're gonna sell it, which we were totally fine with. Like, I don't know, I'm a bit of a stress head, but like this just didn't stress me out at all. And Buds is very cool, calm and collected and couldn't care less. So when they let us know that they wanted to sell the property, the only thing that I felt a little bit icky about was like having an open home and people in the house, but it was all fine. Again, long story short, the first open house they had, this house sold, which was amazing. And then we were given 90 days to move out. Our whole plan for 2023, like a big goal that Buds and I both had, was we wanted to buy an investment property. So we were waiting for mid-year to get our tax returns done, especially me being self-employed, waiting for that to be done so that we could buy another property. Our plan was though that property was gonna be something that we would just buy and get tenants in straight away as an investment. But when we realized we had to be out of this house, we were like, well, let's buy something to move in and renovate. So we had a few like non-negotiables. I think this is really important. Like Buds and I do this a lot with like any big decision we have to make. If we're buying something, like what are our non-negotiables for it? And we wanted something that was in a great location. We wanted something that was like not a huge renovation. We didn't want to be pulling out walls. We wanted to be doing like huge big things. We just wanted to like move into a somewhat smaller property and give it a facelift and increase the value that way. So again, long story short, this video is going to bring you along for that journey. We were cutting it very, very fine. And in the middle of this video, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to run you through what the process normally would be versus what we did, because like, yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot buying this second property. The first time I bought a house, it was a completely different process because I bought from family. I wouldn't say it was an easy process at all, because like it was a lot more steps because I was buying from family. But this one was completely different again, not smooth sailing. We had a few hiccups with the real estate, like lots of different things. But I wanted to share this because maybe you're someone who's looking to buy a property, looking to buy your first property, or just interested in property in general. So I'm gonna bring you along. This is part one. This is us buying our second investment property. I'm feeling very nervous because I've never like had to put in an offer for a house. When I bought my house, it was through family. And although that was a lengthy process because we had to get so many different like evaluations and stuff done, it wasn't nerve-wracking. I wasn't nervous, whereas this I'm nervous. And last time we went to put an offer in a house, Buds did it all. And that was actually a horrible experience. The agent was a bit of a dick. I've spoken to a conveyancer, I've spoken to our mortgage broker. There's just so many things. I feel like I've been on the phone all day going back and forth waiting for this phone call to happen. So I thought I would document it because maybe if you're watching this, that means that we're probably renovating or something. But yeah, okay, I'm about to ring the agent and put an offer on a house that we're potentially gonna move into and live in and renovate. And I'm not getting too excited, but I am excited. I'm excited. Either way, I think this is like a bit of a learning curve and I'm looking forward to it. We have exactly 70 days to be out of our current house. So if I manifested exactly what I wanted in this scenario, they would accept our first offer, which is under what is being asked, and we would begin the process. So basically 60-day settlement, 10 days either way, straight out of the other house into our new one. Who knows? I'm good, thanks. How are you? I wanted to have a chat because we're looking to put an offer in on, have you had any other, I know you mentioned that there was another couple that have requested the section 32. Have you heard from them? No, that's fine. Look, I'm happy to, I don't know, do you want me to email an offer through to you or over the phone, or what works best for you? What is the time frame on getting a response on that? Like, our offer isn't in the range. Something I did want to mention is we're pulling equity for another property. So deposit wise, and there's another property that we saw over the weekend that we also like, so we thought this is our top pick. Have a lovely afternoon. All right, bye. That was so uncomfortable. We also don't have another property that we're thinking about. I don't know why I said that. I'm gonna ring Buds. Yo. I'm gonna email the offer through to him. All right, I'll send him an email now. All right, love you too. Okay, I'm hitting send. It's sent. We just put an offer in on a house. Well, it's a unit, but it's sent. Now we wait. We wait and see. I hope I have my camera on me for when I get the call from them. I won't be surprised if they don't accept this offer because it is less than the asking price by like a fairly substantial amount. Well, it's substantial to me anyway. So, we will wait and see, but we've gone low because we then have room to like negotiate. So we will see. It is the next day. It's 11:30 a.m. Haven't heard from the agent, but that's fine. Trying to keep my cool, and we'll just, I guess, wait for a response. I was dreaming last night that we'd got the house, so don't know if that's a good thing, but fingers crossed. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, but I'm currently house and pet sitting down the beach, and I am so happy to be here. I've got two beautiful big Australian Shepherd dogs. They're so cute. Anyway, I will keep you updated. I'm hoping that at some point today the agent rings and I'll have my camera on me whilst having my phone on me, because I don't plan on doing much today, just relaxing. But yeah, hopefully we get the house today. Okay, it's now 2:46. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it's 2:46. Still haven't heard from the agent. Just had a missed call from a number though that I think's a Ballarat number, and I'm not sure who it is. I'm gonna ring him back.
The number you have dialed is not in use. The number you have dialed is not in use.
Cool, so that was a scammer. Still no update. Well, I look very greasy this morning, but that's just my moisturizer. It is the next day at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm leaving the beach to go home just for the day because I've got someone coming to value our property, because we're going to be using equity from our property to buy the next one. Fingers crossed we get it, and fingers crossed the real estate agent calls us back today. I'm bringing this camera because I just have a feeling he's going to ring and he's going to say, "Hey Celia, property's all yours." We will see. I've had the busiest morning. I went back to Ballarat, now I'm back down the beach, and on the way back I saw a little notification on my phone that said the unit we put an offer in for has another inspection date. And I'm thinking, why have we not heard back from the agent? So I rang him, he didn't answer, and I left a voice message. That was 2.5 hours ago. And I told myself I would wait till 3 hours and I'd try call him again. But I really want to ring him again because that's annoyed me. One, that there's another inspection on the property. I'm not going to leave another voice message. Like, I know this guy has my number, and I know that he knows it's me calling, because when I've rang him to put the offer in, he answered the phone saying, "Hi Celia." So that's really fucking annoying. I'm like, are you playing a game with me? Like, I need to know. I really want it. I can picture us living there and renovating. When I renovated our house, I had an idea in mind of exactly what I wanted to look like, and I'm so stoked that we did that. This one, I'm like, I have no idea. The house doesn't have a feel. Like, my old house had a feel that I wanted, like a vibe sort of thing that I wanted to achieve in the house. And we did, and I love it. Like, I love it so much. It's so white and minimalistic, and it just feels fresh and clean, and it just ticked all those boxes. Whereas this one, I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do? Have I gone down the Pinterest rabbit hole already? Yes. Have I been watching a lot of renovation videos on YouTube? Yes. Do I have a property? No. We will wait and see. I hope he rings me back. I've rang twice now. I'm a stage 5 clinger. I need to stop. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been having a little nap. I feel exhausted. I think it's just from driving back and forth today. Anyway, I just like woke up, went and fed the dogs, and then my phone started ringing and it was him, and I didn't have my bloody camera on me. But you didn't really miss much of that conversation. But I don't know if I'd said this earlier too. Oh yeah, I did. I showed you me ringing him for the second time and he hadn't gotten back to me, and I was like, why is this guy not getting back to me? But yeah, so as he said, he's got to present it to his boss, but it's sounding kind of positive, I think. Hello, I have another update for you. It is now Thursday and it's 12:47 and we still haven't heard from the real estate agent. Kind of annoying because he did say he'd get back to us this morning, but we'll just wait and see. I think I'm going to give him to like 3 o'clock, then I'll probably ring because I'm annoying. But we have got some bad news. So yesterday I mentioned that I was heading back to Ballarat because we had a property valuer coming out to our property to value it because we're going to pull equity out of that to use for this next one. And the evaluation came back $50,000 less. I think $50,000 less than what we thought it was going to be, which isn't a major problem because we still have enough equity to buy this. It's just sort of a bit annoying, really. My broker rang and he's like, oh, I've got bad news. And I'm thinking, no, thank you. We don't want to hear that. But then he said, this is the situation. So what that means is that we were kind of thinking that we wanted to pull out extra money when we take out the loan for our renovation. So instead of using cash that we have on hand, making extra on our mortgage to cover the renovations. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like I'm talking gibberish. Anyway, that's what we were hoping to do. But if we do that, that means we'd probably pay lender's mortgage insurance, which isn't a major problem at the end of the day. But our broker also said that, I didn't realize this, but because we've got a current mortgage with a bank and we're planning on pulling equity out of that mortgage and for the next one, and it's all going to stay with the same bank, he was like, when it comes to lender's mortgage insurance, you pay that on the total loan. So our original mortgage plus the new mortgage, that together, we pay lender's mortgage insurance on that, not just the new property. So that's something I learned new today. I think something that is good about this though, especially with this valuation coming in, is that it's made me realize that I'm so glad that we lowballed our offer on this property and didn't go within the range. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but we've gone like $20,000 under what's being asked, which I think is what it's valued at, considering ours, which isn't that far away. It has an extra bedroom and an extra bathroom and is fully renovated with like really nice finishes, is valued in not a far away distance from this one. I don't know how to describe this without like giving full information, but yeah, it definitely has given me some like prompts of things I can say to the agent when he rings to be like, give me the house for free. I don't know. Anyway, we'll wait and see. Hopefully the next time you see my face in this video will be me on the phone to the agent saying, hey Celia, your offer has been accepted. Hello, it is now Friday morning at 9:53. So I'm pretty sure the last time I spoke to you was when I rang the agent to check in. He didn't answer my calls. Like, this has taken so long. It was Monday, and you might have remembered when on Monday when I put the offer in and I said like, is this gonna take long because it's like with the state trustee or whatever, and he was like, no, like we're getting back to things pretty quickly. 5 days later isn't quick. I think I'm gonna ring him again because this is really annoying. Like, he's not getting back to us. Actually, you know what, I might wait till 10:30. It's 9:54 right now. I bet he doesn't answer. We're really hoping we can get a response to our offer. Do you have any updates on that? Right. So we don't really have an update really. It's just sort of, you're gonna wait. My camera couldn't have cut out at a worse time. I can't remember what you've seen, but while it's fresh in my head, I wanted to jump back on camera. I had to delete some videos because the camera didn't die. The battery, like not the battery, the memory was gone. Like my memory right now. Basically what he was saying is, so there's the trusted state of Victoria. I don't know, it's the person who's selling the property. And then there's the manager at the real estate who's like their contact. And then there's this guy who's selling it for his manager. So we're kind of going through multiple people to like try and get an answer. He said that it's currently sitting with them. There is another open house tomorrow. He kind of sounded more confident that we might be able to get it. He was also like, if you want to go put in another offer in the other house that you're interested in, which there isn't another house. I was just, you know, the reverse psychology of it all. I mean, fingers crossed he is back today. There is no update for him to give us, which is fine. And he's really nice. It's just the time frame now. So I think we're at probably day 63. So we've got 63 days until we have to move out of our current house. So we're cutting it fine. Like, we would have to get an answer today, be signing contracts ASAP to have a 60-day settlement. That's just not gonna happen. So I guess we'll be moving out of our house and in with family for a bit, which isn't the end of the world. It's just more like the moving of all of our shit. Ugh, I'm gonna ring Buds. I'm very greasy because I just put sunscreen and moisturizer on. But I'm gonna ring this agent again because I haven't heard from him and I wanna know what the go is. I'm also just gonna ask about like how the Saturday inspection went and go from there. Let's just see what happens. God, I'm so... Leave that and we'll see if he gets back to us. It's now Monday at 5 o'clock, so it's been a whole 7 days since we put our offer in and we still haven't heard back from the agent. I don't know what's happening. I'm assuming it's just because they haven't got an answer, but like, call them. I don't know, it's driving me crazy because we kind of just want to know if there's any update. The other thing, like, this is what I feel like annoyed about, like, customer service wise. Like, if I was an agent, I understand that this is like a lower price point unit. We're not buying a big house, we're not buying anything crazy, but like, I will never use this real estate agent for anything in the future. Like, I will never, because their lack of communication just sucks. And it's not hard to just ring and say, hey Celia, just letting you know we haven't heard anything back. Like, if he had done that every day since we put our offer in, I would feel fine, because at least I would know that like, he actually, like, I don't know, is looking out for us and like making sure that we're in the loop of like what's happening, even if there's nothing happening, just like keeping us in the loop that we don't feel forgotten, basically. I was gonna ring him again and I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it. He obviously has nothing to tell us. So we will just leave it. Who knows, they might have had other people through the property on Saturday that wanted to put an offer in and they're waiting to see if they did put an offer in. I don't know. I just really hope we get it. Hello, I finally have a bit of an update for you. I'm now home from the beach and on the way home, I decided to ring the agent because I was starting to get really annoyed. I was like, I wanna know if we have a house or not, or like what the go is. So I decided to ring him. So it's Tuesday. We put the offer in last Monday and I just have this funny feeling that they never have actually submitted our offer to the sellers or like the solicitors for the state trustee. Anyway, so we got talking and oh, my battery's gonna die. I don't know if I'm gonna get this in time, but they haven't accepted our offer, but now they're saying we can put it on a contract to them and see if they'll accept it, which makes me feel like they never actually submitted our original offer. Anyway, I sent them through the details for the contract and everything stays the same. Like, there's no difference from our contract to our current offer. Nothing changes, it's just on a contract. I don't know, I rang my broker and he's like, it actually sounds kind of positive, so we'll wait and see. At the start of the video, I mentioned I was gonna share the process with you. So as you've seen from this video, our process was a little bit back to front, but this is what I would do if I was buying a property again and the order I would do it in. So first, go and see a broker. Our broker was phenomenal. We went and saw him, I think maybe twice before we even were looking for property. So this maybe was like 12 months before and then 6 months before, and then once we had our tax returns, we went to him again to be like, okay, what can we actually borrow? So like, having someone on your team that really like is there to help you and like answer questions. Like, I had a million questions. Like, Buds and I would sit at dinner and be like, shit, we've got more questions. So we would write down these questions, send him an email. The broker that we used, his name is Anthony Costigan. I've mentioned to him that I wanted to mention his details because if anyone's looking for a broker, I would highly recommend him. We will continue to use him in our property journey because we hope to purchase more, but highly recommend Anthony Costigan if you're looking for a broker. Next is finding a conveyancer. We had the best experience with this conveyancer. So we used Balban Property Transfers. Is that the name? Balban something. But the girls that work at Balban were just like so switched on and so organized, and like the communication was just on point, which was so good because our real estate was the complete opposite. The real estate agent that we bought through was just, It was the biggest nightmare. They basically held us up at every step. Every time we wanted an update, we would have to ring them for the update, and they would have an update, but they wouldn't, like, it was just customer service 0 out of 10 for the real estate. As I mentioned, we kind of did this a bit backwards. Like, I guess your normal way would be like, you go to a broker, find out how much you can borrow, you find a property, you then go to a conveyancer to then like confirm. I don't know, like it's kind of a bit iffy of like which process to do. I think the conveyancer you go to once you've got an accepted offer, but I spoke to ours before we had an accepted offer, which was really great because they were just super helpful. But I would definitely, if you're looking to buy a house, I would just ring a conveyancer and be like, hey, I'm in the process of looking to buy a house. What is your process? Like, that's basically what I did. And then you put an offer into you find a property, go to a lot of open houses. That's something else I would recommend. Well, that's just what we did, is we went to a lot of open houses, and it was great because when it came to like figuring out a price we wanted to put an offer in on this property that we got, we lowballed. Like we went I think we went like $20,000 under the asking price, because the market had shifted in Ballarat, and that's just what we thought it was worth. We didn't think we would get it for that price, and we were lucky. We only had to pay an extra $10,000 and we got the property. So we were stoked. We were very happy, under market value, very, very happy. Anyway, once you have an accepted offer, the real estate put it onto a contract that we have to revise and go over. And that's when you would go to a conveyancer for them to look over that contract before you submit it back to them. That would be the correct process, but we did it a little bit different the first time. And then the second time, once we agreed on the price and the real estate accepted our price, then that's the process we went through. We went through our conveyancer for that. Something I will mention later on in this video is that we then wanted to get early access. So as you know, we were on a time frame that we had to be out of the house we were living at by a certain date, and then we were going to be cutting it fine with our new settlement date for the new property. However, because it was vacant, we thought maybe there'll be a chance that we can get in early. But I will cover that in future videos. But this is just a quick little summary in between the video that if you're looking to buy a property, definitely find a broker that you really align with and that you get on well and that you feel super comfortable to ask a heap of questions. Like I went in with like an A4 piece of paper with questions. That might seem like a waste of time for them because they're not actually getting anything from you unless you don't pay for that. You don't pay to go and ask all those questions. So we're very appreciative of our broker. But now that we've built that relationship, he's someone we will use every time. Like he's the best. So if you're looking for a broker, Anthony Costigan in Ballarat, that's who we used. I'll have his details on screen and in the description below. Melbourne were the fantastic conveyancers. Again, we would use them. They were unreal. I'm not gonna mention who the real estate is, not to go through. I think you just have to figure that out yourself. And like, there's not me any point saying don't use this real estate agent. If you're buying a house and they're selling it, you're gonna want the house. Like you're not gonna not buy a house because of who the real estate agent is. But anyway, let's get back into the video. Okay, I look like a bit of a hot mess. We're just going to ignore that. But I have an update for you. So it is now Wednesday the 20th of September, which is over 3 weeks since we put our initial offer in, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a bit of an update. So what happened is our initial offer, we finally heard back from it and they declined the offer. Except the real estate agent was kind of weird. Every time that I've had to get an answer to it, it's me ringing him. It's not him ringing me being like, hey, it's been declined, or hey, there's an update. It's me ringing being like, hey, is there an update? And then he'll be like, oh yeah, there actually is. And it's really frustrating. But anyway, they declined our initial offer, and then they said that they were gonna reduce the price on the property. The asking price was in a range of between $30,000. So like when the agent eventually got back to us, he said they've declined that, but they're gonna reduce it to $10,000 less. So we were like, well, that's only $10,000 more of our current asking price. The issue that they had though is that they wanted a bigger deposit. Like we only wanted to pay a really small deposit because we're using equity from our current property to buy this one. And we wanted to hold on to as much cash as possible. So we counter offered, we met them at the asking price that it was now being advertised as, which was still $10,000 less than originally asked. And then we offered a larger deposit. It still wasn't the 5%, but it was significant. It was like $10,000. So then a couple of days passed, didn't hear anything again. And then yesterday I rang him. I rang him in the morning, messaged him, didn't hear anything back, rang him at 4 o'clock or 4:30. And he answered and was like, oh, I've just been really busy. I'm really sorry. So yeah, no. they definitely need the 5% deposit. And I was like, could you have not like told us this earlier? And I said to him, I was like, is there a reason like you didn't call us earlier? He's like, I'm sorry, I've been so busy, like all these different things, whatever. Anyway, so we were like, you know what, we're just gonna do it. We still think we've got it for a really good price considering the location of it and the properties that are currently on the market for more in other areas. So we're really stoked. So verbally we agreed to the asking price that it was now at, which is still, we believe, under market value. And we met them with 5% deposit. So that was last night. He said he was gonna send through contracts first thing this morning. Once we have those contracts, I'm gonna speak to our conveyancer and have a meeting with them to go over the contracts. I forgot to add this in. So we went to Sydney, and when we were there, I'd already reached out to the conveyancer and we were still within the 3-day cooling off period when we put the last offer in. And she sort of pointed out a couple of things, like one of the dates that he'd put in there was in the past and it was about our loan. She was like, is that right? And I was like, no, you're right, it's not right. And then the other thing was the special condition. So we obviously did it subject to a pest and building inspection, but she explained to us, like, I've never bought a house like this before, so I didn't know what to do. She explained to us that usually what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to have a special condition to the special condition. So say the special condition is the subject to a pest inspection, and then the special condition to that would be subject to a pest inspection with a successful outcome of no termites, or like something along those lines. It's very specific so that you've got grounds to, like, I guess, pull out your offer if something's not met, sort of thing. So yeah, I feel like I had so much more content that I should have filmed, but I just never had my camera on me, and to be honest, I was getting so frustrated with the process. But it's seeming like we've got it, which is very exciting. I probably shouldn't say that yet because we haven't signed anything, but verbally from our conversation with him last night, he was kind of like, all right, done deal. Like, we just need to get the contracts done and then we can get a move on with it. So I guess we wait and see. I have been going down the Pinterest rabbit hole. Like, I'm actually really excited to renovate this, and the fact that we've got to be out of this house, I feel like the timing's going to work quite well. There might be like a week or two, because we'll have to be out of this before settlement day for our friends, and obviously have a big cleanup and everything. So we will see. I'll keep you updated. I'm just jumping on quickly. I've got 5 minutes before my conveyancer gives me a call, because we're going to go through the contract of sale and the vendor's statement, which is a document that the agent has given me. And this is where we'll put in our, I guess, the contract again. So from the last time we did this, we bypassed going to a conveyancer because we wanted to do it. We were still gonna have 3 days, we hoped, before our offer came back. Anyway, long story short, we're doing it the right way this time. Basically, the agent said our offer will be accepted, but we have to go through the process correctly. So I'm hopefully gonna get the contract back to him today, which is super exciting. And then we're actually going to the property tonight to have another look through it, because we've only really been through it once, which feels really weird to only have gone through a property once and then be buying it. But we just wanted to go back through tonight. So we're gonna go through, I'm super excited. My mum's gonna come too. And yeah, hopefully this meeting with the conveyancers goes really well. So the meeting with the conveyancer went really well. It's actually, I just find it so interesting, like everything that they pointed out, like reading contracts and all the different things and all the different lingo that they know. I do wish Buds could have come to it, but he had work, so that's fine. And now I'm just getting ready to go view the property. So I'm really excited to see it again. I've got a really good feeling about it. I think I'm very excited for the renovation side of things too. We did speak to the conveyancer about potentially getting early access to the property, considering that it's vacant. But that all happens once we've got a contract in place, and I forget the term that she said. It's like once your finance is approved or something, unconditional something. I don't know, there's lots of new terms. But yeah, meeting went really well, learned a lot of stuff, and feeling really good about it. I'm excited to go and see it tonight, and we'll keep you updated. Hello, the date today is October 5th. This is the most frustrating process of my entire life. Like, I thought you put an offer in, it either gets accepted, it doesn't get accepted, you go from there. So over 2 weeks ago now, the agent told us, probably like a week and a half, the agent told us our offer was accepted. Verbally was accepted. And then we had to get the contracts through, which was weird because we already had contracts. but these ones need to be updated to a new price and stuff that we'd agreed on. Fine, done that. Then I got my conveyancer to send it through to the state trustees because that's who the seller is. Because of what's happened is last week I chased up with a conveyancer to be like, have you heard anything? The state trustee had come back and asked a question about how much we were borrowing, because we're paying a 5% deposit, but then we're sort of borrowing 100% because we want to borrow back our deposit so we can use that for renovations. That's all fine. Anyway, we've just been waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's been like a week of just waiting. Our conveyancer has contacted me a couple of times just to sort of give us a heads up they're still waiting. I get an email from this morning being like, hey, this is from the conveyancer saying, we've tried to reach out to the state trustees, we've tried to reach out to the real estate agent, no one's getting back to us, do you want to try ring them? Like ring the real estate agent. So I ring the agent, doesn't answer. He eventually calls me back and he's like, no, everything should be going through fine, like haven't heard anything, blah, blah, blah. He was like, speak to your conveyancer. So then I ring my conveyancer because previous conversations with her. Hello. It is November 6th, it's Monday at 2:32, and I'm gonna say any minute now I'm gonna get a phone call from our conveyancer who are gonna say that settlement's just gone through. Wow, I'm looking very frizzy and disheveled today, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, today was settlement. I feel like there was lots of different pieces of this puzzle that I covered a lot at the start, I feel like, but it has gone on for so long. I actually can't wait to put... this is Buds. Hello.
So, man, is it all gone through or not?
I'm waiting for her to call me. She said it can usually take around half an hour, so I'm assuming any minute now I'll get a call. Okay, literally as soon as I did that, I got them. Oh my god, we just got an email saying there is a delay to settlement due to the... We got the keys. I wasn't gonna badmouth the real estate agent, but we did. Okay, it is officially moving day.